So my wife convinced me to move to Missouri. We went to Salem, Missouri, and I got to meet her folks, and they were quite different. I mean, they were like out in the country. They had sheep and goat and chickens and oh man, something called guineas. They also had dogs and cats. They had a rooster or several roosters. They had a turkey, one. Anyway, it was really cool to see all these different animals and to see what they were like. Unfortunately, they were devious. Um, they definitely like to lie a lot. They weren't very smart kind of people. I'd almost say like they were hillbillies. Like, for example, Grandma and Grandpa had a stereo in their car, and they had a cassette tape in there that had been stuck for a year. They wanted to know if I could fix it. And all I did was push two buttons and it popped out. That was it. They'd actually been listening to that tape replay for a whole year. But on top of that, they just didn't know much about the world, outside world, music and stuff like that. They were in their own little thing, which is okay. I'm just saying it was quite different from when I was raised. And they also had the animals inside, the sheep, the goats, the chickens, the ones that were injured. They bring them in and they could run around in the house free. I didn't like that. You had to boil your water on a stove to take a warm shower or warm bath. No showers. Showers were cold. Um, but they seemed not to mind it at all. So here we were, we had a certified nurse's CNA license, we'll say that, CNA license. And we lived pretty far away from the town, so didn't know what to do about trying to continue that kind of career. So what we ended up doing was we finally got a place. We saved up a little bit of money, which I can't even remember how we got that money. Well, But we was able to get into an apartment. Unfortunately, we got robbed on the very first day in the apartment, which years later I started thinking about it. I think it was the neighbors that lived in the apartments. I think they did it. They came in there while we was asleep, and it was just a one-bedroom apartment, and actually stole her purse right next to me. That was scary. So I bought a special lock for the door for no one could do that again. No one else did. Um, but Missouri was so different than Kansas, and I really enjoyed it. Every day it was so bright and new and exciting. But anyway, we ended up getting jobs at McDonald's. Okay, at McDonald's, and I became friends with just about everybody there. And my wife worked on a different shift than mine. But my boss sold me my very first car. Well, I had a van. I talked about that, but my first car, and it was a 1977 Impala. Sold us our first TV. The shift manager, she cut my hair, and it was like a big family. And it was really awesome. And my wife was still pregnant and close to the end there. And also, when it got time for her to have the child, um, the family was there. They were supportive and stuff. And so we went to the hospital, and my wife gave birth to a daughter, and we named her Carrie. I love that name. She let me name her. And so she named her the middle name. And of course, the last name she had of my new name, not my original name. Had my birth name. This basically made it where I was trapped in using my name. I could not go back. Once I got married, once I started getting jobs, I could not go back to my adopted name. And that was messed up because I was the last, I can't say my last name, but I was the last one. If I didn't have any boys and I had all girls, the name died. There's nobody else to have that name. Luckily, I did. But right now, we're talking about my daughter, Carrie. So we had her, and at that time, my father came down from Texas, the one that, had to send me on my way. He came down with his new wife, and they lived with us. And unfortunately, things were turning out bad for him. He lost his vehicle while he was there. He got a job at the lumber yard, but the work was too hard. I mean, because you had to carry wood and stuff, and most people don't make it there very long. You have to be really tough, and he didn't. Anyway, Then what happened was something very terrible, something I'll never forget ever, and that'll be in the next video. Okay, thanks for watching. It's just me keeping it real. Bye.